Well, so faction focus is back.
Nice.
Don't you have music for this?
Not yet.
We need music for this.
We need faction focus. Yeah, that would be nice. I think it would be too long to keep our intro music in the background through the whole faction focus presentation.
You gotta have a button, faction focus, yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
I think
you can do it. Let's
Do
continue
what?
with you doing it like that. Okay, so now it's time for
faction focus, yeah. That's my best duet because that's actually I'm actually ripping that off from Po2, but yeah.
Sounds good. So I've changed the intro, changed it up from the previous faction focus to summarize this. The world of Mythos was created by Helios and Selene. After a while, Selene loved the whole world of creation a bit more than what Helios did. He preferred, his love for Selene. So it escalated into Helios creating the four, dark gods and a lot of other creatures that waged war upon Mythos. Selene manifested manifested, you can say, created the four great beasts to counterattack these four dark gods. And, do you guys know the names of these? From the top, we have Silona's flock.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have the Order of Eathyron.
Are we supposed to repeat after you, sir?
I just want you, I try to get you to say one of these.
Oh,
so the lion.
Say it's like a quiz then.
We should
the
do this
army,
in the beginning.
The army of Leodicius.
Good. And the
army of Leodicius. Vexilius.
Basilia. Next time, I think I will just go through this. So each of these beasts were created as a countermeasure to these four dark gods. And today we're going to focus on Eathyron.
Yeah.
The Order of Eathyron. Here we have the big map of Mythos. And Eatheros is located in the southeast corner as the counterforce of Necronominus, the Dark Lord of Death.
All right.
Here we have a close-up of the map of Eatheros and the crown city, the capital of Eatheros. And here is also where we have Eatheron's temple. And I want to go through some history points. We don't know much about what happened during the Great Wars in the past. We know that the four dark gods were defeated, and the four great beasts, they vanished somehow. Mm-hmm. We have not gotten enough info to learn exactly what happened to them.
Okay.
But once they were gone, we should focus on some of the historical points of Eathyros. And if you can't see these points, they're gonna be clear. The Heavensbrand family was part of the order from the very beginning. The family is named, after the sword, the Heavensbrand that Eathyron was wielding.
Okay.
In this sword, Eathyron himself had put some of his life force into it to make that weapon very, very powerful. So had all the other great beasts done as well.
Still one of the awesomest weapons they've ever sculpted.
And I totally agree with you.
Yeah, I love the sword. The Heavensbrand sword is just amazing.
And so, starting the Order of Eathyron, it was founded, I guess, after the Great War. Eathyron was leading the his army against Necronominus,
Mm-hmm.
but it says that the order was founded afterwards. And all was well, faith in what the great eagle god Eathyron had done, and the faith in him was kind of like the foundation of all of Etheros. The corruption spreads.
Yeah, we heard about this.
As soon as something good happens, there tend to be others who want to take part of this and use this for their own. So even if the foundation of the order was something good, there were other people who infiltrated this order and wanted to get, they wanted to get the power, the influence to become something important. They didn't necessarily care that much for the faith in itself. And this, through many, many, many years, this escalated and became more. The corruption spread. At one point, we arrived at Gabriel Heavensbrand, who was the leader of the order at this time. Spoiler, he's the father of Gideon Heavensbrand. He tried to fight against this corruption that had spread and was actually tearing the order apart. But he got struck with a mysterious illness. Not much is mentioned about this, but I mean, we can speculate where this illness came from or why it was.
Toxis.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, maybe some of these people in the order, the corrupted ones, were allying themselves with Toxis. I don't know. So even though he wanted to kind of stir up everything and make it better, the order in the order, he didn't have the power, he didn't have the strength to do it. While he was sick, Necronominus, not Necronominus the god, but his forces desecrated the temple of Eathyron, the temple where it was said that the remnants or remains of Eathyron himself was guarded. This is where the Templars, they guarded this temple. But they found that the grave was empty. There was no remains of the great god. So the corrupted ones, they used this as an excuse to disband the Templars altogether. So this was another great part of the order that was, that the leadership got rid of. And the last point...
I have a question.
A
question. Why is the Necronominus a symbol above that?
Just because they were from Necronominus, just there were troops from Necronominus
that desecrated the temple.
Yeah, they desecrated the temple
and tried to find the body of, or the remains of.
Because something that's easy to forget is that even when the four great gods were defeated, and much was somewhat peaceful in the lands, it was not all peace. The dark forces were still there, attacks were still going on, and fights and wars, but the forces of good was so strong that they could fight them back. Anyway, we arrive at the last point, and that is Gideon Heavensbrand, who, when he took the leadership of the order, he started to make changes, and he started to work, get rid of the corrupted ones, the corruption, and restore the order. So this is really one person of great faith that, took the corrupted order of Eathyron and turned it into something good.
Nice.
So that is the backbone, the story. And here we have the chart of all the figures released or on pre-order, or that are on their way. from the Order of Eathyron. Feel
Awesome.
free to say anything that you guys think, but I'm gonna try to, most of these I'm gonna make a pretty short presentation of.
All right.
Okay.
I'm anxious to hear what you have to say.
This is one of my favorite factions of all of the figures.
Mine too.
So we start with Eathyron himself, who is mentioned as a battle god. And we've already talked a lot about him. I would like to say that his sword is said to be bestowed with the power to purify the evil in enemies' souls. I'm not sure if the Necronominus troops have souls or not, but those were the ones he fought the most. Moving on to Gideon Heavensbrand, you can say so much about him. He is summarized as a selfless man whose conviction and faith are unwavering. So he is really the pillar of the whole order, and I think that's the most important. Yes,
and has a cooler mustache than Tom Selleck.
He might be the only one who has a cooler mustache than Tom Selleck.
Mm.
Is it Len who loves mustaches?
No, Len hates mustaches.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, my bad. I didn't mean to. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. This one's okay though. I'll allow it.
Yeah. And here we have his sister, Gwendaline Heavensbrand, who is she's mentioned as a paladin and referred to as the commander, kind of like the fist of the whole order, the one who is leading the troops. And she's not the first female leader of the military forces of any faction. So her and Gideon's discussions are many, and she seems to be more for the fighting, and he is more for diplomatic solutions, maybe. Though I don't want to see it like that. That's how it's kind of like it's described. But
he's the one that has the Heavensbrand sword. You'd think he'd have to get his hands dirty at some point.
Yeah, maybe she is more eager. Maybe when there is another solution, she still prefers fighting. I don't know. It's a little bit vague. But I made this line just to show that these are there's a bloodline between them. And here we have Bishop, the steed that was born lame and belonged to the Heavensbrand family. Stephen, why are you laughing?
I just love this kid. I love the story, and I love the look of this horse. I'm so excited. Like, we're about to get Poxus, and this what we're looking at with this horse and that 2.0 Heavensbrand figure is probably a year or more, who knows, away. And I'm already giggling when I see these figures because I want them.
These two are the combo that I look forward to the most of all figures. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait.
So, short, Bishop was born lame. Gideon, as a young boy, prayed and stayed with Bishop through the whole night. And in the morning, he was well.
That's like a fairy tale. I don't know. It's just super cool.
And so their bond is, their bond goes back a long time. That horse must be pretty old, though.
Well, horses live a long time.
Yeah, this is the best horse. So I'm just going to show the builders here. There are 4 builders that I want to start showing off now. The Steel Knight, which is one of few 2.0 figures in this faction. We have the Knight, which came with a Knight builder set. Very popular one.
Very popular and kind of rare, right?
Yeah, that's what. Yep, I don't have it. The Silver Knight is another builder, and we have the Gold Knight. Many of these
Okay.
are pretty old.
Yes.
And here we go. Gadriel, who is the only angel, I think, that we have seen.
I believe that's right.
Yeah, I think so.
They are revered as sacred creatures in the world of mythos. They live in Sirius, who is the great golden city in the clouds. She's exiled from there, basically because she wants to help the humans too much. She wants to help protect them at all costs. So therefore, she's exiled from the clouds.
If I made a G.I. Jane joke, would you slap me? If I, just was wondering.
I don't slap.
Go ahead.
You have something you want to say? Do it.
No, I said it. No, this was just being stupid here.
Okay. There are not many figures in this wave who are, most are humans. There's not a big diversity with different races from mythos, but we have Sirvard here, who is the dwarf knight. He's also one of the older figures, and he was part of fighting for Gabriel Heavensbrand, Gideon's father. So he's old and he's wise. And what's said about him is that he offers wisdom and guidance to Gideon. Oh, from Dorothy, the Senatus is half angel. Thank you for that.
Good catch.
Sir Valgard is seen as a inspiration and symbol of the Order of Eathyron's return to greatness. Probably he was part of the era before Gideon, and also now with Gideon.
That's cool.
And we have Sir Uchak, the paladin, the ogre. To say short, ogres are not generally nice creatures, and this one, Sir Uchak, he at one time had a vision of a golden bird. Yeah, spoiler, Eathyron. And so he left his wretched way of fighting and killing, and stayed in a hut and prayed. And the rumor about him spread to Gideon, who went and visited him and invited him back to the crown city to join the order. One thing to say about him, that he is one of the most faithful and powerful warriors fighting for the Legions of Light. And SirEK is also an homage to our own Greg.
That figure is just ridiculous. I can't wait.
Yeah, that thing's awesome. Is he green under there?
I would assume.
That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I can't wait to get him and strip his upper arms and his upper thighs and make him a little bit,
Green?
bit ogre-y. See what that
Yeah,
looks
I
like.
agree.
Different steps when he is undressing his armor. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, sometimes maybe he wants to just, skies out, thighs out, suns out, guns out. Maybe he needs to get a little, get a little air flowing.
Go for a swim?
Maybe. Who knows?
Maybe.
Probably want to take more of that armor off then, if you're going to go for a swim, though.
Yeah.
Weigh you down, that's pretty dangerous.
I love this figure, just like you said, Steven.
Yeah.
This is also definitely one of the top figures I'm looking forward to get. Just to feel how a massive ogre scaled knight will feel like,
Yeah. It's gonna be amazing.
Can I ask you a question? Because you guys might know
course.
better than me. What is that? What exactly is a paladin? I mean, I've heard the word obviously many, many times. I always thought it was like a very powerful, like man-at-arms type warrior that also had a little magic that they used
generally
to,
I would
but-
say like more like a holy knight more.
Because I just see it used a lot for in this faction. So it doesn't mean they have like a little bit of magic power.
You don't. I don't know. That depends on what kind of lore you're following. Many paladins have some kind of blessing spells or healing spells and stuff like that. You know.
Right.
But I would just say Holy Knight. And yeah, I love paladins.
Okay.
It says right here, a paladin is a trusted military leader or a leading champion of a cause, often in the Middle Ages. The word comes from Latin palatinus, meaning, I don't know if I can read anymore. But
What?
Yeah, I can't get the next sentence anyways, but there you go. That's what I found.
Awesome. And I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I only know the aspects of paladins from role-playing games.
I only know it from like MMOs and video games, and to me, they always had some kind of ability to like buff with like a magic spell, or they weren't fooled like wizards or magicians or priests, but they had like a little bit of magic they could use.
Yeah, to
Just
maybe
wondering.
enhance their attacks and stuff like that as well.
Another
Yeah.
definition.
They usually have strong powers against a paladin. I would say is especially well equipped to handle the undead. Generally a paladin have bonus points when fighting undead, and this faction is focused toward necronominus, so that makes sense.
Another definition: the noun paladin means a champion of cause.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of that in the comments. But everyone's saying the same thing. It really just depends on what the lore is. You know, what the lore is. Maybe that's a good question for our friends at Just Shelve It to ask this Sunday of Eric Treadaway. This Sunday at 8 o'clock, Eric is going to be on Just Shelve It on YouTube. So maybe those guys can ask him that question.
That's a good. How they define a paladin in the world of mythos.
Right.
I like that. Moving on to Sir Owain. Oh, let's see. My bad. Sir Ignatius is first. And I'm going to read something from here. Sir Ignatius' absolute faith is a source of inspiration for his brothers in arms. Once a denouncer of the order and its flawed ways, he was an integral part of the order's reformation and Sir Gideon's rise to leadership. So this is one who was important for Gideon and for the revival of the order, of course. Though he's mentioned to be one of the knights that were a part of the order before Gideon joined.
Yeah.
So he's seen the bad things.
Yeah, he's old.
He's old, and you can't see that. And he has a beautiful armor. Here we have Sir Owain, and he is a warrior and a swordsmith, in addition to being a knight. So he's famous for his detailed and ornate stuff and how he makes the weapons. He's a great fighter as well. But one thing that I really want to focus, if we remember something from Sir Owain, is that he is famous for his jovial good nature.
Yep, he's a good guy to be around.
He's a good guy to be around. Exactly, I like that.
Yeah, it's like Steve.
Yeah, he's like me.
That is exactly. Sir Owain is Steve.
Yeah,
Or maybe Steven. Okay. Anyway.
I mean, I'm a good guy to be around.
Yeah, you are.
Jovial. You're very jovial.
Very
great jovial guy to be around. So this guy, Sir Andrew, has a pretty long bio to read, and many of us have heard this, from this last year. Summarizing this, he has good genetics when it comes to becoming a a pyromancer or using spells. As a kid, he accidentally blew up his house and killed his parents.
Yikes.
That was a pretty horrible, early experience of using magic. He was trained by Jorund Runeshaper, a character many of us know, who is one of the early magic users in the Mythic Legions mythos.
Yes.
But still, getting his becoming better to handle the magic that he is born with, the magical skills, he searched out the order to seek redemption and absolution, and thus this is how he has joined the order. A character created by Joe Vasapolo.
Go.
It's cool. It's cool that he has his own little band. Like he's got like his own little. It's like the Suicide Squad, right? It's like a band of former
Criminals?
wrongdoers, criminals that have sworn to fight on the side of Eathyron. So it's that's kind of neat. It's like a little Suicide Squad.
Yeah. It's interesting that it says that he's leading this band of criminals, not former criminals. He's leading these criminals who volunteered to. Maybe they were in the prison cells, and here comes Necronominus. We have to fight back, going down to the criminals and asking who wants to leave these cells and fight Necronominus instead. And then they follow Sirandro in battle. Pretty cool character to follow.
Yeah, I hope we see more of them, of the repetent. Am I saying that correctly? Repetent.
The
That's the name.
repentant.
The
The
repentant.
repentant.
Yeah,
That's the lead of the group.
that's gonna be neat. I hope we see more of them.
Moving on to Adalric, who is, well, Stephen, how would you describe him when you look at him, Sir Adalric?
Like a peacock.
Like a peacock.
He's very fancy.
Mm-hmm.
He likes color. And looks like he might be a bit of a show-off.
Yeah. He's said to be one of the richest individuals in Eathyros. So when the all the corrupted leaders, they wanted to sway him to their side, to their cause and their opinions and stuff and he was like, I don't need you. You can't bribe me because I have more money than all of you. So he could not be swayed into being corrupt. He could not be bribed. So it says that he is the richest, one of the richest, and he is very generous. So he's giving a lot to charities and arts and stuff like that. It doesn't say that much about him being what kind of fighter he is. It says that he's a champion, but most of the descriptions for him is that he is rich.
He's rich and he's got some fancy duds.
Yeah. And here we have
Sir
Galleon, who is a warrior.
Yeah, I love this guy's bio.
Yeah. What do you remember from this guy's bio?
He has like a dark side to him or something, is what I remember. He's got like I don't know if it's a temper or something ominous about him, but he's a good guy. Am I close?
Yeah, exactly. He's one of the most noble and heroic warriors in the faction, but he has something dark, lurking beneath. What is it? We don't know. And he also has an urge to revenge against something that has, something mysterious that has happened in his past, but we don't know what. And it feels like this is kind of like how the early bios were written, Now when we have more of the lore and the world fleshed out, I guess this is kind of bio that we won't see now, because now we're adding more stuff to the whole world.
One thing I always thought would be cool, and maybe they'll never do it, is when there was always talks of a head pack. That was something I the way I always envisioned the coolest head pack would be like heads for these guys, so we could see what they look like.
Yeah, that'd
You
be
know?
cool.
Yes, I totally agree.
That'd be awesome. I mean, it would take these figures and take old figures and just make them like new again. Like, oh, look at this. Anyway,
But exactly, because that also makes it harder to relate to the characters, maybe when you only have the helmet, but they're supposed to be humans, you know.
yeah, and they've got such personalities and stuff, and it would be kind of cool to see. You know, what does Galleon look like? This guy that's a heroic guy, but he's got a dark side to him or something. Is he, you know, has he got like dark bags under his eyes, or is he just very serious? And you know, is Owain, does he have a smirk or a, you know, just a pleasant face? Be just neat to. It'd be fun to explore.
Yeah.
It will be interesting how much of this will be explored in the upcoming books.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if if some of that is explored. That would be, you know, just flesh out some of these characters.
It's gonna be very, very interesting to see. I'm looking forward to that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It'd be cool if they would have done an alt head with the All Stars versions. You know, if they would have done like with the All Star Sir Owain, and he came with a different, you know, his on helmet head.
ooh.
And a fancy sword.
Yeah, that's backwards thinking, of course, because it's been done already. But that would have been cool.
But so when a character is getting voted into All Stars, it's cool for people who to get the characters, but also for old fans who will get a head sculpt with this
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
Oh man, well that would definitely get people to buy that, I guess. Anyway, that's a very interesting idea. So we have one slice of this chart remaining, and that is the Templar Order. Starting off with Sir Godfrey, who is the leader. He's the leader of the Templars, basically.
Leader of the pack.
What? Each character get a theme song. You get a theme song. You get a theme song. Everyone's get a theme song.
He's got a red
Steve's
plume.
being old.
Yeah.
I am being old.
You're so old.
I'm younger than you.
I know
I'm
you
just-
are, but you're an
I'm
old
just-
soul.
I'm just worldly.
Worldly
I
in
love that song.
1955.
I love that song.
Okay, so I'm old, but you both know exactly what I meant when I said it.
Yeah. I love it.
Oh, I'm not denying it.
All
So-
right.
Here we have Sir Enoch, who is, it says here, commander of the Templar emissaries. The emissaries, you know, riding along with the messages that are important to deliver across the realm. He's an old one, said to be the mentor to younger members of the emissaries. And one thing that's interesting is that his greatest honor was when he was being charged with delivering the message of Sir Gideon's ascension to the leadership of the order. So that's something that he was the one riding around and delivering that message.
So, yeah,
So he's like a
Gideon's in
mailman.
charge. Yeah.
Actually, that's a horrible way of saying it, and I can't come up with a no, so I must say yes. But he's the
mailman.
leader of the mailmen.
Right. So
Yeah,
he's the
that is
postmaster.
postmaster.
The
that is-
postmaster general.
This is Len. This is one of the most anticipated figures I have, and you're trying to take him down.
I'm just saying. I mean, there's
He's
two ways. There's
awesome.
two ways to look at it. I mean, an emissary could be someone that spreads the word of Eathyron, like where you're talking about Templars. So they could be like an army that's going to spread the, you know, word type of thing. Or he could literally be a messenger, where he's just him and his command are just flying around delivering letters.
Yeah, but just because he was a messenger doesn't mean that's all he's ever been. Right?
I guess. I don't know.
I mean, look at him. He's toughest. He's Sean Connery with cool straps and
That is
Awesome.
exactly what it
a
is.
skirt.
And I'm gonna say this: if Sean Connery would to be deliver a message in a costume like that, that would be the
Eathyron. You know?
Yeah.
Sir Gideon's in charge. Something like that. I don't know.
Choose wisely.
We have one other from the emissaries on the list, and that's Sir Elijah, who is, well, he's the best equestrian. He's the best
Yeah.
at handling the horses, or riding the horses in all of Eathyron. And he speaks a lot of different tongues, and I bet that can come in handy, when you are an emissary or
Heck
when you're a
yeah.
messenger.
Heck yeah, dude can ride a horse and speak some languages.
So
He's like He's like a fast C-3PO.
You guys are experts in taking some of these coolest figures and making them less interesting. That's not the purpose of this. It's like a riding C-3PO.
No, look at him. He's cool too. You can't make these figures lesser. I mean, these are the ones that got the cool faceplates, the swappable faceplates, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, look at the new armor, the new articulation, the soft goods. You can't take these
Valiant
figures down
Knight
a notch.
under there, right?
Yeah, that's what I would assume.
Mm-hmm.
Phenomenal.
And I'm looking forward to that. I think the Valiant Knight is a great figure, but I think that the torso, well, of course, it is slender, so it's supposed to be, you can have the soft goods on top, and I think that looks a lot better on
You know how
figures.
free? I mean, of course, that's the point. But how free for posing they're going to be? It's going to be so great. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Need a lot of
definitely.
Templars. I'm not
Just
sure I
saying.
will get more Templars than Curtis Ackerman, but
Just saying,
But I
they're
will
pretty.
get
They're
a lot.
pretty geared up for messengers. Like if your job's riding a horse, I think you're going to be a little like lighter weight in your travels.
wait, come on. What if you have a group of Necronomicon skeletons jumping on you? You need to be able to defend. You have to deliver these messages.
Yeah.
I would say your messenger is not the same thing as a postman. Nothing bad about postman, but Sir Elijah is a messenger.
Like the Pony Express, man. Those guys had to deal with all kinds of stuff. Didn't you ever watch that show? What was that show about the Pony Express in like the 90s? They were always shooting each other and running into stuff, and they had a girl that was pretending to be a guy. Remember that show? It was awesome.
They have an important role in this in this order, definitely. It's actually interesting that the Templars are the ones who are sending the messages. That's just interesting.
Yeah.
So
because they're all geared up with all that armor.
yeah, but they're all that. Everyone's a knight or a paladin or something.
And here we have the strongest horse in all the land.
It's actually the swiftest and bravest.
The strongest back that can hold all that armor.
This
in
horse
all the
isn't-
travels.
This horse isn't better than Bishop, though, is it?
It says that it's the swiftest and bravest, but how would that work? I mean, Bishop is.
I mean, shouldn't Heaven's Brand have the swiftest and bravest? They must mean other than Bishop.
Yeah, that this feels.
DGRM's asking if Steve that was a real show.
It was
Or
a
did you
real
dream
show.
That was that
No,
a dream?
it was a real. You guys don't remember that? That was like Wild Bill Hickok was in it, and it had there was a character, and there were a bunch of young kids. I can't think of the name. You guys, somebody in
Jesse's
the
saying
chat.
Young Riders.
Young
Is that what it
Riders,
is?
there it is,
Oh,
yes.
Boy,
That's
you're so
it.
lucky that Jesse watches this show and saved you. 'Cause what the heck was that on? Like, really? Was that one of those syndicated ones like Hercules and Xena?
No, it was before that. It was like on once a week, and I think one of the Baldwins was in it. I think he in one of the Baldwin brothers, I think. Remember there was the Wild Bill Hickok was in it. He was like the bad guy, but not the bad guy, but like the tough. He was like the Wolverine of the group, He's like,
Yeah.
And then they had this chick that was she was a chick, but she pretended to be one of the boys, and no one knew it. But then someone found out, like they always do, and they're like, we'll keep it a secret. And,
Soul Power saying
they're always
you know the
trying
rest
to
of
have,
this?
no, that's Young Guns.
Yeah, that's different.
This is about the Pony Express.
Brad's saying it cashed in on the Young Guns popularity, so that makes
Yes.
sense. So it must have been okay. All right.
Yes.
Sorry, Emma. I didn't mean to derail you.
I think
Okay.
we needed to
Sometimes
work.
it's
I think we needed to work that out.
Yes, and we have something sad to say, since that it says the deacon is the swiftest and bravest. I think when you're reading Bishop's bio, it doesn't say that he's swifter or bravest, it says that him and Gideon ride into battle as one, their hearts pure and true, for they know that faith has the power to turn away even death. So maybe he's the slowest horse in the kingdom, but he knows that.
And you tease out, you say we're trying to degrade these figures, and you just call them the slowest horse in the kingdom.
Bishop is still the horse that I'm looking forward to the most.
I thought we were
So-
talking about Deacon.
Yes, we were, but Steven
the rat poison?
compared Deacon with Bishop. So okay, we just have a few figures left. And here we have Delina EOS, who is a Templar knight. And I would actually like to read her short bio. Growing up near Eathyron's temple in the city of Eathyros, Delina was always fascinated with the Templar knights and their holy temple. As she grew, the fact that the order was enigmatic, mysterious, and operated secretly ignited Delina's imagination and nourished her desire to join the Templars. Delina was 19 years old when Sir Gideon Heavensbrand re-established the Templars, and they began to recruit new members. Although quite young to be a Templar knight, Delina of Eathyros has become a spirited and vital member of the order. So we get info about her past, but not about her skills or what she is now. But I really like this figure. I think, and this is one of my favorite head sculpts of all the. I mean, we're talking lore now, but figure-wise, it's like, I think Delina is beautiful.
She has a beautifully sculpted figure.
Yes. Moving on to the Templar Knights, who are no bio, but are the core forces mainly. I mean, of the Templar order.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the Templar Relic Guards.
These guys are cool.
Yeah, so these are 12. They're supposed to be some of the Templars' most capable and loyal members, and they protect a secret known only to them. Well, we
Not
know
even
that
Gideon?
they're not guarding the remains of Eathyron, so there's something else.
Yeah, there's something else, and like Len was alluding to, does Gideon know what the secret is? That's like the president. And some presidents say they don't know if there's aliens, right? But they gotta know, right?
It says
guess.
only to them, but I mean, what about Sir Godfrey, who is the leader of the order?
It says only they know. So they're like, are they like the CIA? They're running black ops, special secret missions. Nobody knows.
That's why they have black crosses, because they're black ops.
Yeah.
It's a symbol.
Maybe they're not guarding anything. They're like, so we have a sacred
just hanging
duty
out.
here. This is a sacred duty. We're guarding something in here.
They're like, hey guys, this is a good gig. Don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
It's really nothing important here.
We get to wear black and not red.
We got cool uniforms.
Yeah. They were the class who got the wrong tunics, and they were all black. And it's like, wait, let's say this was on purpose. Yeah, we're We're special. Sorry, that was making fun of the relic guards.
No, but I do think the relic guards are cool. They look cool, and I do like the whole 12 thing, which is a pain in the butt because it makes me want to have 12, and I don't have a spot to have 12 of them. So,
yeah.
Jesse's
So Jesse
getting
is writing
aggressive
here.
now.
Gideon reinstated them. My guess is that he knows. Yes, and Sir Godfrey knows as well. So what Jesse is saying that he doubts that the bio is written correctly.
they guard Gideon's mustache.
Joe thinks that they're guarding Gideon's mustache.
Okay, let's by that let's end this. This was the Order of Eathyron.